Martin, a massive 3 points and probably an even better performance out there. You must be buzzing.
Yeah, there's talk, Dowse is suggesting that maybe the best performance since we came to the club. I don't think it's far off it. I remember we won 4-1 at Ebbsfleet. And I think I said to Christian after about 15 minutes, the best 15 minutes, we hadn't scored. The first 15 minutes at Ebbsfleet on Boxing Day, was it last year? When we did score, we scored with every attack. And then the goals came, and they came in, we'd take any sort of win today, but to get players scoring their first goals for the club, I think all three of them. I don't think Chinny scored last year, did he, when he was here? And that was a magnificent goal. At a time where you're thinking, well, we've actually started really well. Torquay have to travel, and we know that ourselves when we travel down to the southwest of England, which we do on a regular basis, that we might, get a good start and make it difficult for them. But we did that, and we didn't score. And then Chinny sort of shuffled the ball onto his left foot and bulged the net. And George Alexander, we've signed to get goals because he's done that against us on a number of occasions, and I've said to him every time I've seen him play, he's scored. I said to him before the game, we better keep this run up a bit, and he's been the first to admit he could have scored more than the one, but it was probably the hardest chance he had, really buried it. And then Musa, who at the other clubs where we work with Musa, has been a regular provider of goals. I think at Hampton, I think he got into double figures. So it's been a long time coming for him as well, but it's a great, sweet finish. And they missed their chances, we took our chances. That's football.
We often talk about Chinny, man of the match. I mean, you mentioned his goal, but it was an overall performance. I mean, he felt like he was everywhere out there today. He was brilliant. He'd
been in Malaysia. He's actually, I think, made a sort of international commitment to Malaysia, and he played wasn't with the senior team, he was with the under-23 team, but he played a game out there. He hasn't played much, he's been injured. We've tried to get him earlier, and thank Charlton for finally allowing us to do it this week. And I must say, I must thank the club as well, because we brought in two players, and they've made significant efforts to help Dowse and the staff, and to help the dressing room as well. So I'm really pleased for the directors and Tony Berman that they've got an instant return on their investment, because they're the ones that signed the cheques. I just come here and answer your questions.
And a word for the fans. I mean, they were really up in the second half. They sort of saw us through to victory. They were brilliant at the end, so a word for them.
Yeah, I thought they were really good on Tuesday, and it's a completely different story, wasn't it? And also they had to go through the heartache of last Saturday. That's a week in football, isn't it? I mean, 5 days in our case. So they really, I think they valued the victory. I mean, I've been around football a long time, and Torquay United have been a football league club for most of those many decades. So I think it's always, as a traditionalist, to beat a club with their pedigree. And I feel for Gary Johnson, who's managed a much higher level than this, and at the moment he's having a tough time. But we know about that as well, so it can change, and we've had the wind blowing in the right direction today, and I'd say one or two things did go our way. The fragile nature of our recent record defending, had it gone 3-1, which it should have done right on the stroke of half time, we might be having a different story to talk about. But we saw it through, and the clean sheet means a lot. For Ryan Sanford, obviously, as well, particularly when it was half time, it was said, let's get a clean sheet for him. He's come in to join us. So that's it's another new face as well. So we've been able to make the changes. You don't always get an immediate response, but with those three, I think we have.
And going forward, there's no league fixture next Saturday, but we do have Senior Cup on Tuesday night. So what's the plan going into that one against Bromley?
I think to give the players who haven't played today, obviously we had a few more players available. There were 5 outfield changes out of 10 today, I think. Obviously players back from suspension, and new signings, and 1 or 2 injuries have cleared up as well. So at the moment we're just making sure we enjoy tonight, and then it is frustrating, of course, not to play next Saturday in a league game, because you want to crack on from this. But it gives us a chance to get the new players into the way we want to play and make sure we're ready to go again. I guess it's week on Saturdays. It's 2 weeks today, so until we play again in the league. But at least we've got 2 weeks of memories. It's a bit like an international break, isn't it? I watched, because I'm commentating on the Fulham versus Wolves on Monday night, and I watched that Tottenham Tottenham game from Saturday ago, before the international break, 2 weeks ago, and Wolves had wonderful 2 weeks of glowing with the comeback win, fantastic win with 2 late goals, and of course Tottenham have had to live with the agony of being 1-0 up going into added time. So we've got a couple of weeks. If we'd have lost today, it would have been a couple of agonising weeks, I think. But we'll be smiling. But it's one game, but it's a really good game. I don't want to undervalue. You asked the question right at the beginning about how it's special. And it does feel special, but it's one. And we've got to be special again and again and again.
Cheers, Martin.